I watched Raw this week, and I watched Raw, and I watched last week's Dynamite.
In preparation for Collision?
Well, yeah, that's. I'd like to know what the fuck. So, Tony,
I tried to get to see how it's different. It's just more space for storylines. I'm going to ask you about that later. I have a lot to ask you about.
to me, it's just like, I guess TBS TNT didn't learn their lesson with Thunder.
That's what I'm going to ask you about. Thunder. And then on the other side, you had Raw, Heat, SmackDown. Laborious to cover that many hours of programming with wrestling.
And it's just like, Saturday night.
I don't know wrestling-wise. I don't purport to know wrestling-wise how a weekend would draw. Because all the pay-per-views are on Sundays, so... But for television, for regular television, Friday or Saturday is the death night.
What is the next pay-per-view? The Night of Champions?
I know, Steve, bring it up. What just passed? What was the last?
No, this is the one from Saudi Arabia. It's on Saturday at it's like 1:30 start time.
Night of Champions.
Night of Champions. So they're talking about this Night of Champions, and I'm watching Raw, and I have no reference to that they're in Saudi Arabia. So I'm going, what noon wasn't available? 11:15? Like, what the fuck? And then I realized, so I Google while I'm watching the show. I Google it, and they're like, it's from fucking Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And I was just like, ew. I thought Sami Zayn wasn't going to be going there.
I guess everybody watches shit back on the streamers now, right? Watching live is not as important to people, I don't think. They catch it later, or, it's up on Peacock, even regular television.
Especially if you hear, like, somebody that's a mediocre fan calls you and says, hey, did you fucking see, so-and-so match? And you're like, no, I didn't. Why? Was it worth it? And he says, yeah, you got to watch it. So...
And then you just go grab that match.
Put that graphic back up, because this was a strange epiphany. Not that one. The one with the championship match.
This is an ad for
Seth and
Night of Champions.
AJ.
Seth Rollins and AJ.
Okay, so during the Raw, they sit down with Corey sits down with Seth, and they have a one-on-one discussion that, of course, they give you half of it and then say we'll come back later with the other half.
Mm-hmm.
Seth has got on like a Liberace blue kind of, looks like almost like a tuxedo shirt on with the ruffles, but he's like, they're trying to make it feel shooty. You can go ahead and get rid of the graphics now, because
I'm enjoying their hair. There's a lot of hair on that fucking screen. Yeah. So they're trying to make it feel a little real.
And so Graves asks him, how he feels about Roman. And he says, that he'll always, there'll always be a place in his heart for Roman, because Roman was always there for him. But he doesn't like the man he's turned out to. And, he's become very selfish. And there's just not enough opportunities for other people to get world title shots. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, why don't somebody beat him? Like, maybe if you guys beat him, he wouldn't have all the fucking belts. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll make another belt.
Don't you remember when Tyson had the title for a long time, the WBC, WBA, and he had unified title? Didn't they just invent more belts, or was it like, who the fuck's gonna knock out Tyson?
Get him good and fucked up in Tokyo and see if Buster Douglas can't do it. You couldn't even get a fucking bet on Tyson.
No one would get it. I would fucking pop if they sent fucking Buster Douglas in a Money in the Bank to run in the ring, given the suitcase by somebody, and he gets the fucking win over Roman. That would be hot.
I like
the
that.
Captain America movie they're making now is called New World Order.
Why?
And Seth Rollins is in it, so it's definitely a wrestling reference.
Well,
coincidence?
As long as I get, I guess I need to talk to Marvel and get my percentage.
Keep an eye on that logo. If it looks like spray paint, I think money is due.
One thing that was was I thought that was it was impressive was the fact that Fast and Furious is the #1 movie and Cena's in it, and then Guardians of the Galaxy was the #2 movie and Batista's in it, and the only reason it's #2 is because it's been out for fucking a month and a half or whatever. That was good to see, like two stars from the WWE that no longer have anything to do with the company were in those two movies. But
yeah.
John still does. John still does.
So I think they're safe. The logo is.
Yeah.